Welcome to One Chapter, One Thought. I'm Pastor Chris from Lincroft Bible Church in New Jersey, and every weekday I read one chapter of the Bible and offer one brief devotional thought. Today's reading is from the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37. The Lord took hold of me, and I was carried away by the Spirit of the Lord to a valley filled with bones. He led me all around among the bones that covered the valley floor. They were scattered everywhere across the ground and were completely dried out. Then he asked me, "Son of man, can these bones become living people again?" "O sovereign Lord," I replied, "you alone know the answer to that." Then he said to me, "Speak a prophetic message to these bones and say, 'Dry bones, listen to the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Look, I'm going to put breath into you and make you live again. I will put flesh and muscles on you and cover you with skin. I will put breath into you and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord.'" So I spoke this message, just as he told me. Suddenly, as I spoke, there was a rattling noise all across the valley. The bones of each body came together and attached themselves as complete skeletons. Then, as I watched, muscles and flesh formed over the bones. Then skin formed to cover their bodies, but they still had no breath in them. Then he said, "Speak a prophetic message to the winds, O Son of Man. Speak a prophetic message and say, 'This is what the sovereign Lord says. Come, O breath from the four winds. Breathe into these dead bodies, so they may live again.' So I spoke the message as he commanded me, and the breath came into their bodies. They all came to life and stood up on their feet, a great army. Then he said to me, 'Son of man, these bones represent the people of Israel. They are saying, "We have become old, dry bones. All our hope is gone. Our nation is finished." Therefore prophesy to them and say, "This is what the sovereign Lord says. O my people, I will open your graves of exile and cause you to rise again. Then I will bring you back to the land of Israel. When this happens, O my people, you will know that I am the Lord. I will put my spirit in you, and you will live again and return to your own homeland. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken. I have done what I have said. Yes, the Lord has spoken." Again, a message came to me from the Lord. "Son of man, take a piece of wood and carve on it these words. 'This represents Judah and its allied tribes.' Then take another piece and carve on these words. 'This represents Ephraim and the northern tribes of Israel.' Now hold them together in your hands as if they were one piece of wood. When your people ask what your actions mean, say to them, 'This is what the sovereign Lord says. I will take Ephraim and the northern tribes and join them to Judah. I will make them one piece of wood in my hand. Then hold out the pieces of wood you have inscribed so the people can see them, and give them this message from the sovereign Lord. I will gather the people of Israel from among the nations. I will bring them home to their own land from the places where they have been scattered. I will unify them into one nation on the mountains of Israel. One king will rule them all. No longer will they be divided into two nations or into two kingdoms. They will never again pollute themselves with their idols and vile images and rebellion, for I will save them from their sinful apostasy. I will cleanse them. Then they will truly be my people, and I will be their God. My servant David will be their king, and they will only have one shepherd. They will obey my regulations and be careful to keep my decrees. They will live in the land I gave my servant Jacob, the land where their ancestors lived. They and their children and their grandchildren after them will live forever, generation after generation. And my servant David will be their prince forever. And I will make a covenant of peace with them, an everlasting covenant. I will give them their land and increase their numbers, and I will put my temple among them forever. I will make them my home. I will make my home among them. I will be their God. They will be my people. And when my temple is among them forever, the nations will know that I am the Lord who makes Israel holy. One thought. Ezekiel 37 contains one of the strangest but most encouraging visions of the Bible. It's actually a vision which explains and amplifies the new heart and the new spirit given in the previous chapter, in chapter 36. But in this chapter, Ezekiel sees a valley filled with bleach white bones. Obviously, this is a vision and it's not literal, but the bones are just scattered everywhere in the valley. Then God commands Ezekiel to prophesy over the bones, and they start rattling. Eventually, the bones link together to form skeletons. Flesh starts now covering over these skeletons, but they're in a zombie-like state. There is no life, no spirit, no breath in them. But then the breath or spirit, which is the same word in Hebrew, ruach, could mean breath or it could mean spirit, even meaning Holy Spirit. The breath or the spirit fills them and they are brought back to life. This chapter vividly illustrates the truth of the previous chapter, where God would replace the unresponsive heart of the people with a heart that truly loves him. In Ezekiel 37, we see again this notion that this restoration takes place in two stages. I think in the vision, first, the people are gathered back together. That's the linking of the bones together to be skeletons. The people are being brought back together. Then they're brought back into the land, but there's no life in them. That's the first stage of the return from exile. God is physically bringing the people back, but they don't have a heart for him still. God sent the people away in exile for 70 years, then brought them back to the land. But that's what the books of Ezra and Nehemiah are about. But when you read those books, you find the people are still struggling with the same sins that sent them away into exile in the first place. There is no life in them. But in the vision, there's a second stage. The breath of God, the Spirit of God, entering the bodies. And the New Testament identifies that this comes with Jesus. Through Jesus' perfect life, sacrificial death, and victorious resurrection, the Holy Spirit is now poured out on all who believe, not only from among the Jews, but also from among the Gentiles. God's restoration plan now rolls forward, and his breath and his Spirit comes into the life of every sinner that accepts the gospel and are born again.